everybody, and welcome back. So today I'm going to do a tutorial on how to make a crystal tree. Now these are very simple. You can use any type of crystal. You can use a raw crystal. You can use any shape. It really doesn't matter. The way I do it is a little different than ways I've seen it done. Usually, okay, so what you'll need, let me get into the things that you'll need. You will need 20 gauge wire. You can use up to 22 gauge wire. It just depends, because 20 gauge wire is usually the wire that will fit into the standard size bead. And I use these chip beads right here for the leaves. I don't know if I've got one to show you that's done. I usually just give them away, so I don't have any to show you with the chip beads, but they are just little black jasper chips. So you just get any color that you want, you know, obviously. But like the crystals, the ones I use, the ones I find that make the best and sturdiest type of tree is if you get one with a flat surface on the bottom. Now this is a piece of amethyst that I'm going to use. It was like $3. They usually have these pretty cheap at your local witchcraft store or like your, you know, esoteric shop or whatever. They usually have them for pretty cheap. Amethyst is really easy to find, which is why it's cheaper than most stones. And then for your wire, you're going to need, now just think, you want your wire to be fairly long, because you are going, depending on how you do your tree, you're going to need excess wire for the branches. So you'll have to like be able to wrap it up over your stone like this, and see your tree is going to be, and you're going to twist it, so it's going to get smaller. Now, I'm not good at giving directions, and I'm not good at doing tutorials, but I'm going to do it the best I can. Now, what I do instead of some crystals and some trees I've seen, actually a lot of them that I've seen made, are usually just taken underneath and wrapped over and twisted. Now I find that if you do it that way, you are susceptible to breaking the sides of your crystal. Now regardless of, like if you use a softer crystal, you're going to break the sides a little bit. Don't be scared about breaking your stone a tad bit, because you know some of it just chips off and you can't really help it. For this tutorial, I'm going to do it this way because it's easiest this way. I do things a little bit more complicated. I like to complicate my life a little. So what I usually do is, see, I've got this one done here. This one, I just did a spiral on the bottom, and as you can see, I attached singular wires. I attached about 5 wires to the base. And this helps it give like a sturdy balance, you know, because if you take a crystal that's kind of uneven on the bottom, it's going to fall over. Like you can make your tree, you can obviously balance the weight of the tree with the branches, easy. But this one is fairly simple. All I did was twist the top. This is a piece of aventurine, which is also a very soft crystal, so it will break a little. Now, I'm going to do it this way because it's easiest this way. It complicates things when you're sitting there trying to wrap a wire around another wire that's kind of unsturdy. So what you do is you take your crystal, and you don't want to wrap them all at the same time. You want to take, like, I've got 5. Now you're going to want to remember, however many wires you get, you're going to double. It's going to double once it turns into the tree. So these will be your branches. You don't want to get like 10 wires. Otherwise you're going to have, like, unless you want a big tree, depending on the size of the tree that you want and how big the base you want it and how many branches, that all depends on how many wires you put on there. So I did 5 wires, so it will double to 10, but you don't want to put it all like this. You don't want to put it all like that. You kind of want to make a cross section. It gives it a little bit more, it's a little sturdier. So what you do is you take your wires and you make an X, and you just bring them up. And if that's too hard, you can do it one at a time. I'll just do one at a time, make it easier. So you take it and you bend it up over the rock or the crystal, and you hold it at the base. Hold it so it doesn't like slide around. And all you do is take it and you twist it on itself. So twist it. You're gonna want to do it a couple times just to get it going. And see, like this. And then you take your other wires. You can even slip them underneath See that you can, this will all be fixed once we get it all attached. So slip them underneath or over top, don't matter, whatever. And I cannot, this is, the way I do it is a lot simpler, I think, but get it on there. You twist it one by one over. And you want to make sure it's like in a spot where it catches the side of the crystal so it's not just slipping off of it. Because until you get this grip on there, the crystal, the wire will slip a little. So now once you got it all on, you just twist it up into a tree, okay? So you just twist them all together. And they'll naturally take a form. See? You can separate them a little to make the base look a little different. And then once you get your height that you want, then you're going to want to do your branches. And see where I've got a lot of extra wire, I'm going to do the height a little taller. So see how it's twisting on itself? You want to make sure that no wires are just sitting up still and you're twisting another wire around it, because it will become easier to take apart if you do that like that. So you just let them sit open as you twist. So that way they're really getting a good, like, tight grip around each other. And so I think that's good for, see, you can even leave one set out for the branches is usually how they do it. You can leave 3, 4, don't matter how many you leave out. You can just start twisting the top. And then you want to take these little side pieces and you want to twist them to make the branches, okay? And see, this is so easy. Like, the reason I started making these is because I went to my local metaphysical shop and I seen these crystal trees and I was like, man, those are so cool. But they were like $40, $50 for little ones. And you know, as a poor person, basically, I'm not going to pay $30 for something that looks like I can make it. So what I did was I went to the craft store and I found the, you know, my first tree looked really awful. And I'm telling you, once you start crafts, your things won't look that great. Don't get discouraged, because with crafting, it's practice. With everything, it's practice makes perfect. You have to practice at it. Like, it took me years to get this down. Well, not years. It took me about a year. Okay, so at the base, the way you get it to stay sturdy, okay, and look like roots, is you're going to need some pliers with this too. I forgot to tell you, you're going to need some clippers, wire cutters, and you'll need some needle nose pliers, okay? Or you can use these pliers, these square nose pliers or round nose, whatever they're called. I don't know. Basic pliers. Those ones are actually a little bit better if you want like a real actual root system look. And I'll show you, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to take it right near the base of the tree and you're just going to twist, okay? And you keep doing that to that wire. You just keep twisting it in different places and it starts to look like a root system. And you just keep twisting them. There's no rhyme or reason or way you have to do it. You just go underneath, go on the sides. See how it's all coming together. And see, even those pliers are a little tricky. So you're going to want to get your needle nose ones if you want. And these ones make it look like a little bit more natural. And you can twist the wires all together, but it looks a lot more random and natural if you just do one by one and you just do any other way. And see, this is going to break the crystal a little bit because obviously you're like rubbing the pliers against the rock, but it's okay. It's just little tiny bits. Don't worry about it. Don't get too caught up in making things look perfect, and you know, don't let that side get out in you. Because really you're wanting things to look random. You're wanting things to look off a little because that makes it look more natural. It makes it look like an actual root system instead of like, see how I did this? You go through the bottom and you twist it all the way up. It's not focusing on it, but there we go. See how it's just random? And you keep going through the whole system and you do that to all the wires. Because for one, it makes it look like a natural root system, but two, while you're really doing this is to tighten the wire against the rock, because you don't want it to slip off. And this is kind of crucial because you don't want things to be slipping around, your tree to fall off, and you want things to look like a root system, because then it makes the tree look cooler, I think. Oliver, my cat is like bugging the crap out of me. He wants to just come in and out, never satisfied. And he meows constantly. He's cute though, so it makes up for it. I hope you guys are enjoying this tutorial. I've been dealing with a skin condition, as you can see. When I went to Alaska, I got really stressed out and I broke out really bad. I have cystic acne. Never had acne as a child or a teenager, and then as soon as I hit my late 20s, I started getting cystic acne. So, and I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just, you know, me not taking care of my face. But then the older I got, you know, it started to get even worse and worse. So I had to go to a dermatologist the other day and get some medicine for my face. Okay, so now that we've got that part down, see how it looks like a natural root system? And you can even take the pliers and use the side of it to like bend the tree in different ways to make it look a little bit more organic. Like see? You can make it look more organic. You can do it any way you want. It's really up to you how you want your tree. You can keep it straight. You can bend it. You can, you know, make it look like a little bonsai tree. It's all up to you, which is what is cool. Okay, so the next part, I'm going to show you a couple different things you can do with this part, because this is really, this part, the top is up to you. This whole tree is what you want it to be. With the chip beads, you just put them on. You just put them on until you got the length of the branch that you want. Here, let me put a few on and then I'll show you. I'm going to pause this and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I got all these beads on right, okay? And you want to just bend your tree, your leaves, however you, or your branches, however you want. Now this is a little too much wire, so I'm going to cut a little bit of this off. And then see, at this point, you can do whatever you want at this point. You can wrap this around the base of the bead. You can pull it up and over and do like a little spiral, which is usually what I do because it's easiest and it looks really cool. Or you can take your end right here, right at the end, and you can make like a little, you can do a spiral, but like make it like this. Instead of just a regular spiral, you can keep it out like that. Or you can take it and open the spiral just a little bit more and make it flat so it goes against the bead like this. It's really up to you how you want. See, you can make it like that. So it all sits on there. And then at this point, you just bend how you want your branch, like that. Very simple. I'm not going to sit here and put all the rest of these beads on because it's going to take forever. The chip beads are kind of notorious for just being hard to put on the wire. But again, you want 20 gauge wire, because that usually, if you get anything bigger than 20 gauge wire for these chip beads, you're going to run into problems of trying to string them onto the wire, because it will be just, like if you get 22 gauge wire, it will be just a little too big for the chip beads. And like I said, you don't have to use chip beads. Like, the design is completely up to you. You can use, like these beads. You could use these beads. These are like glass moonstone, laboratory created moonstone. You can use stuff like this. Literally, it's up to you. You can put charms on it. You can do anything you want. And that's the beauty of crafting, is like, you can buy these at the store very simply, but they're not made from you. Like, they don't have your intentions weaved into them, because like, this is witchcraft. This is magic, where you're weaving your intention. You know, if you're sitting, you can't sit here and do crafts in a bad mood. I mean, I'm sure you can, but like, why would you want to do that? Crafts, for people who do crafts bring them peace, and they bring them like an inner peace. So you're weaving that inner peace into everything that you make, which is basic witchcraft. You know, it's all about intention. It's all about putting your power and energy into a physical object manifesting things. And that's why I give these away and I don't sell them, because I don't like to sell and make money, because I don't operate from a place of money. Money doesn't motivate me. So it's hard for me to sell my art and feel good about it. I don't know, because all my art, it's not just art. It's like weaving witchcraft into physical objects. It's weaving spells. All the jewelry I make, these are labradorite. All the jewelry I make is spiritual. It's all occult, to get you in touch with frequencies and to bring, you know, those good vibes to your house, because you don't want to, you know, have those negative feelings and emotions always, you know, in your space. And having things like this around to actually touch and physically see, and somebody, you know, when you put your heart into a product, you feel weird about, I feel weird about selling it. So anyway, this is what you do. And you can take your branches, see how they're straight. You can take those and do basically any type of shape to them. You can do, it's all up to you. So I'll post a picture of this when I'm finished with it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Angie, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you make your tree. When you do make your tree, Angie, if you make one, please let me see it, because I would love to see it. And if anybody else makes a tree, please show me. Post a picture in the comments, or go to my Instagram, the Hallow Grove, and, you know, share pictures with me. Tag me in it. Anything. I want to see your guys' art. Just any type of art you guys make. Literally anything. Please show me, because it gives me inspiration, and I really enjoy other people's creativity. So hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.